Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this amazing session. Yes, you guys can keep dropping your name and businesses in the chat. This is a good way for us to get to know each other. I know this is a pretty informal because we can't physically see each other in the same room, but it's a good way for us to connect. So you guys can continue dropping your names and businesses in the chat. I'm so grateful to have you all here, and I want to um, make sure that you guys can see my screen. If you can, just leave it in the chat and let me know you can see it, just so I know that you guys can see my screen. Just let me know. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure before we get started. So this is going to be exciting. Get ready to take notes. And I know they're recording, so you guys can also watch it back. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. And at the end, we'll try to answer as many questions as possible. So part of this crafting a winning strategy comes from my background, being an entrepreneur, basically my entire life. And I'm born and raised in Chicago, South Side. And part of this started because at 14, I wanted to, have a job. And that started with a summer job. Did not know that that was going to give me the inspiration to want to really invoke an entrepreneurship journey. And so that summer job actually came full circle to where I'm at today. Um, a little bit more about my background. I was a licensed cosmetologist, so I was in the beauty professional space for about 10 years. I also had a professional event planning business, and that was about 7 years. And then from there, I transitioned to now, which is my current company, which is 103 Collection. My background also consists of I have a master's degree in healthcare administration. I was actually pursuing my doctorate, but I'm all over dissertation. So I have a little bit of mix of both. So I have the entrepreneur side and I also have the educational side. So I'm so thankful that I was able to even present this blueprint for crafting a winning strategy for retail partnerships to scale your brand because we've been in business since 2015, 103 Collection. And part of my background in beauty and science, of course, started with my background in cosmetology. And it came full circle now because we're on the product-based side of building, our brand. So I want to make sure that we touch on all the important aspects of building a successful strategy for retail partnership. And I want to jump right in because I want to make sure that we have time for questions at the end. So let's talk about the importance of retail partnerships for branding and scaling your brand. Retail partnerships, of course, they play this pivotal role in expanding your brand and outreach and marketing because it gives you access to their customers and a different marketing platform than we may be used to or typical with just promoting on social media outlets or just our typical website or even reaching press and media opportunities. It's important for us to collaborate with established retailers to provide access to customer base and these different distribution channels. We're going to get into that too when we talk about distribution. It's important for us that when we get these opportunities that we leverage these retail partnerships to allow us to increase visibility. This visibility also builds credibility and drives sales toward your brand. The strategic alliances with retailers can help you penetrate new markets and demographics more effectively. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. We knew when we started that we wanted our brand to be in partnership with certain retail partners. And so we knew that we wanted to study those different retail partners before we even were presented or in the room with them or had an opportunity to provide the context of a line review. And we're going to go more detail into that too, just so you know if there are any other questions that you guys may have when it comes to line review and the process of, scaling and reaching these particular partnerships. Wait, let me see, guys. Hold on one second. Okay, so we're going to understand retail partnerships. This means the definition of a retail partnership, which is specifically you having an agreement with a retail partner in order for them to sell, promote, and market your goods in exchange for a discounted price that you sell your products to these retailers for. And again, it's important for you to align yourself with the right retail partnerships. And the best example I can use is if you have a food product, you may not necessarily want to have a partnership with a company like JCPenney, or that is not aligned with the food aspect of what you're trying to provide for your customers. One of the biggest benefits of retail partnership is you being able to scale your brand, because think about how many followers or how many customers that a company or organization like Target has. They have millions of customers. So if you can just touch 1% of those millions of customers, imagine what that can do for your brand and how you're able to grow and scale. I also want you to think about retail partnerships as you being in a position that is lucrative for you to continue to build. When people look at retail partnerships, we get very excited, but we don't look at all the things that go on behind the scenes. There are tons of things that I definitely want to address today, and hopefully I can answer some of your questions about that. Number one, I would say, is for you to make sure that your pricing is correct. Your pricing plays a crucial step in your negotiations as well. And we're going to dive into that a little bit later. Market research and analysis. Again, you want to know who you're looking for to be a retail partner. A lot of times we look at and I want to be in Target, or I want to be in Macy's. You need to make sure that you do the research to analyze market trends and consumer behavior. Consumers are becoming smarter. They're becoming knowledgeable. They're always looking for deals. We know that Amazon has become a pivotal point in small business being able to scale as well. And then you're even able to grow in international markets. It's important for us to assess our competitors and their strategies in retail partnerships. Competitors are always looking for the next big thing. They're always looking for ways to make their brand stand out amongst those that are in this same category. I want to talk about how you can conduct market research for not only your product, but also for pricing. Conducting market research, one of the tools that I always use, and I think that this is a great one, and I try to share this even with brands that I work with. The biggest thing that I would say is that you continue to stay on market trends. So the biggest thing that I do is I go and research other brands and see and look at all of their comments and reviews. And people are like, well, why would you do that? Well, you want to find out what your competitors are doing right and what they're doing wrong. The biggest thing that they're doing wrong is the thing that you need to try to focus on and make your brand stand out, whether it's with marketing, the actual concept of the product, or the brand messaging. So it's important for you to put yourself in the place of the customer and think about what the customer would want, because that is exactly what retailers are looking for. The next big thing, the new innovative opportunity for your consumers to come in and purchase or go online and purchase. They're excited about it. It's been built up anxiety and emotions that they feel like they need it, they desire it. So this is like one of the things that they'll even ask you in a line review, like what makes your brand, product, or service stand out from everyone else. When we started in 2015, like I said, less than 2% of brands in the skincare space were focused on vegan, sensitive skin, fragrance free. And so we felt that was an opportunity for us to really branch out and share that brand messaging. And that is how we connected with our consumers, because we seen that there was a lack of brands that focused on that aspect, even brands that were even focused on melanated skin. And so that is how we were able to, secure our relationship with our customers and consumers and continue to scale and grow. So I always be thinking about, how you can now present yourself as a brand or market yourself as a service, because this market research is very important. When you do a line review, and for those that don't know what a line review is, when you're presenting to a major retailer, this is when they do a category review, and they're looking for new brands, innovative brands, products or services that they can then bring on as a retail partner. And when they do the line review, you're doing a presentation where you're presenting to them, which you have a short period of time, which is probably about 15 minutes, if that. Sometimes they'll give you less than that. They'll give you like 10 minutes, of 10 to 15 minutes. So you have a short window for them to really grasp what it is you're selling, what's going to give you the differentiator in the market, and also why they should bring your brand into their retail space. So market research and analysis is very important. I know I said I was going to talk about pricing, and I think we cannot move forward without talking about that as well. Your retail partner can also determine your pricing. And I'm going to give you a great example of that. Walmart is known as the low cost leader. So your pricing, let's say you wanted to sell a product, a skincare lotion or moisturizer, and you're selling it on your site for $20. Well, Walmart may say, well, we want to be the low price leader, so we may want you to sell that retail, sell it for $15. Well, that may not fit into your price point. So that may be a determining factor for which retailer you choose to partner with. So that's why I say market research is very important. You also want to look at um, partners that are conducive to what your brand represents. And I'll give you a perfect example. If you are a vegan or plant-based brand, you may not want to go with a retailer that is not focused on conscious consumerism, meaning that they don't have initiatives that help build sustainability or continue to give you acknowledgement or share the fact that you are a clean beauty brand. So it's important for us to really do our research and know exactly what it is that you're looking for in a retail partner. Defining your brand strategy. Would be the next step. Like once you do your market analysis and research, you definitely want to define your brand strategy. You have to establish these clear goals and objectives. So part of our brand strategy was that we knew we wanted to partner with Target. Like that was the top level for us with retailers, because we felt like our brand was not only something that wasn't oversaturated in the market, it was also accessible and affordable. We wanted to make sure that we provided great price points for our brand. We also knew that we wanted to reach that goal within a certain time frame. And although part of that this strategy took a little turn for us because of COVID, I'm sure a lot of brands had experienced having to pivot during COVID. I'm going to give you a perfect example of identifying our target audience and positioning with our relationship with Target. Um, During COVID, we had, well, right before COVID, I'm sorry, previous to COVID, we had a line review with Target. No, we had I'm sorry, they had a Black History Month event at Target headquarters in Minneapolis. So we went to the headquarters. We were able to set up, share about our brand, hear from other brand owners. Don't be afraid to reach out to other brand owners that are in retail and ask them for their opinion and how is their relationship with a specific retailer. Although that shouldn't determine your final decision whether or not you're going to continue pursuing a relationship, but I do think it can give you a perspective of what really happens with retail partnerships. So, fast forward to us going to the Black History Month event at Target headquarters. Great opportunity to meet with these brand owners, meet with Target buyers, get right in front of them, answer any questions that they had. This was previous to us getting a deal with them. And so after that, me and my husband came back and we were just like, wait, I don't think we're ready for retail, and we weren't. You have to have a system and a network in place in order to not only secure these successful partnerships, but also maintain them. A lot of times people think as retail partnerships is a great opportunity, but then they're not ready um, for all of the positioning that it takes for your brand to be successful. So part of your strategy should be that you create goals and objectives. And part of that could be also you entailing marketing. Marketing is a crucial step for you to be able to be successful in retail. So while you are focusing and crafting a strategy to get on the shelves or on .com, also budget and market and put things in place for a marketing strategy. You have to think about all the elements that go into um, crafting this successful strategy for your brand. It's not just about the relationship with you and the retailer, it's about you being able to secure that opportunity and also maintain it. Because the one consensus that every brand owner that we've met or spoke to or that we know is that once you get on the shelf or on the .com, that's when the work really starts. So you have to make sure that you're continuously, being creative with your marketing strategy. Also, you have to tie in pricing, marketing, um, and also be evolving. One of the tips that I can share with you too in your strategy is if you have one product that is great, if you're killing it, rocking out on social, just on your .com and social, that is great. They love that. But one of the tips that I can give is that they love things that come in threes. So if you have one product and that's what you present to to a buyer, make sure that you have a plan in your pitch to show that there are other products coming in the pipeline. So this all comes in your strategy. You want to make sure that in your pitch deck, you're showing like, okay, in 6 months, we plan on introducing this new product. These are the call outs. These are the things that's going to make this product be successful. Within 12 months, we're going to introduce the third product. And this is something that's going to add to that. So either whether they're individual products or it's like something that makes it a complete set, they love to see like what you have coming in the pipeline. And it's called your process of continually establishing and crafting unique value. You want to continue value because if you have that one product and you're just focused on that one product, they want to see like, okay, well, consumers are going to always be looking for more. We know we're always on Amazon or TikTok shop looking for something that's new. So keep that and add that in your brand strategy. Now, we want to talk about the criteria for evaluating retail partners and compatibility with your brand. We touched on it a little bit before, but I really want to dive into this and make sure that we all understand, the importance of choosing the right partner. The most important thing is to have communication. You want to make sure that you establish great communication with retail partners. Some brands may have a distributor, which is what we have. We work with the distributor. So the way a distributor works is they're the middle person between us and the retail. Um, we didn't have a distributor when we first had the first meeting with Target. We actually went to an expo called Cosmoprof some years ago, met with distributors, packaging companies, and everything. And when Target reached back out and said, hey, we want to do a line review with your brand, we were like, okay, this is great. But once they told us that they were interested in our brand, we were like, okay, again, like I said, you got to make sure that you're prepared for these things. And so once we realized that things were going to move forward, and all of the capabilities that we wasn't able to check off in our strategy, that's when we reached out to a distributor um, to have them handle all of these particular things. And I'm going to break that down a little bit more because there's a specific platform and it's called EDI. And for those that don't know what that is, it's called electronic data exchange. Almost every retailer has some form of EDI. And this is where, they submit purchase orders, and all of these things are communicated in this system. And it's a way for them to directly communicate with either your brand or your distributor. I definitely want to talk about a distributor relationship because you cannot talk about retail partnerships without talking about distributor. There are some brands that operate completely without them, and then there are some brands that they could not survive without um, a distributor, just because it's a lot of work. And you want to make sure that you don't miss steps because, I mean, you don't get a lot of opportunities with retailers, and to make mistakes. Things happen. Sometimes they are out of our control, but most distributors have a relationship already with these retailers, so they know what paperwork to complete, what things that you need to secure on your end, whether it's insurance. So, these are things that you need to make sure that you also have when you're selecting your partner. Always make sure that you are flexible. Flexibility is so important. Perfect example I can give you is that when we first had the meeting with Target, they asked, would it be a problem if they asked for exclusivity? Some retailers will ask for this if your brand has never been in retail. Exclusivity just means that you are agreeing that your brand will not move forward with any other retailers, whether it's uh, for eternity or whether it's for a specific time period. This is just a way for retailers to leverage their relationship and make sure that they are the leader in the industry with this particular brand or product. So, and it's okay for you to even ask for exclusivity, but always remember that this is a negotiation tool because the moment that they ask for exclusivity, is the moment that you should be asking or trying to leverage something else for your brand, whether it's placement on the shelf or whether it's .com marketing, anything that you can possibly get to implement innovation for your brand in the partnership, because your goal is to be a sustainable growing company. Assessing the partner's reputation is also important. We know Target is like everybody knows it's considered Target in some people's repertoire. So it was exclusive for us. We were looking at this as like people look at going to Target as an experience, and so we knew that the reputation was great. And we did our market research. Target was doing great. They had introduced their .com. .com was doing great. And, even with Amazon, our partnership with Amazon, we know that almost every brand has access on Amazon. And now the leader is TikTok Shop. So, you have to make sure that you are looking at their reputation, their market research, because some companies, and I've, I haven't personally experienced this, but I know friends that have. They have went on to foster partnerships with retailers, and then the retailer is now filing bankruptcy or they go out of business in 12 months. And what people don't tell you about this, and that's why I say it's important for you to select the right retail partner, because although things may sound great and they may tell you all of these great things that they're going to do, make sure that you look at their financial reports. Make sure you do that. A lot of this stuff is available online. You can find it yourself. Look at trends in the market. Look at who these retail their competitors are and see how well they're doing in the industry. This is very important because what they don't tell you in retail is if you get products on the shelf and those products are not selling because there are a specific number of items that you have to move every week. It's different for categories, it's different based upon different times of the year. All of that plays a major role in your brand success. So you have to make sure that you are aware of all of these things. These are questions that you need to ask the retailer. How many turns do I need? Turns mean how many products do I need to sell in a week? Be um be encouraged to ask questions. Don't feel like any question is dumb because a dumb question or something that shouldn't be asked. You have to make sure that you are you are knowledgeable and aware of anything that could possibly affect you from making sales or being successful in retail. Another example is doors. This is the terminology that they use in retail. How many doors your brand will be in. That means how many store locations you will be in. We are in 3 Meijer locations, 2 in Detroit, 1 here in Chicago. And our goal wasn't to be in 50 doors when we first started. When you're a small company, I will give you the best advice that I can give is to start small and then look to gradually add on more stores. Retailers are going to want to put you in as many stores because at the end of the day, they don't know what your bottom line is. They don't know your inner operations. They only know that you have a great product and they want to put it out there to their customers. And I'm saying this to say, as you move forward in that process, you will discover that sometimes that has bankrupt brands, that has put them in compromising positions where they now have to buy back those products that didn't sell. Oh, yeah, for those that don't know. So, perfect example of that is if you have a product that's on the shelf and you're not turning, let's say they want you to sell 2 items a week and you are not selling 2 items a week. Well, after a while, they're going to mark that down. And that markdown is something that you have to pay for. Retail does not pay for that. Any sales that they have, when Target gives you those favorite $5 off coupons, that is the responsibility of the brand. So every time you think about, selecting that right retail partner, make sure you read all of the fine prints. And we're going to go more into pricing and the structure of retail a little bit in the next couple of slides. So I'm going to get to that too. But just make sure that you ask all of these questions when you're talking and negotiating with buyers. Oh, wait, hold on, guys. Now, negotiating the win-win for partnerships. That's why I was like, wait, let me get to this next slide because you want to make sure that you are receiving some form of favorable terms in a retail partnership. And by that I mean you can negotiate. There's negotiations all the time. No matter what they present to you, you can always say, okay, well, how about we review this term in the contract or the agreement? Because I know for me, this will work better for me at this time. And then we can come back and revisit it, as we are introduced to more stores or more new products on the .com. Things are going to always seem like it's in favor of the retail company. And I'm going to tell you why. When you are selling your product to retail, I'm going to give another example with dollars. Let's say you're selling an item for $10 on your website. Most retailers are going to ask for 40%. So 40% off of that $10. So that means that you're selling it to them for $6. You have to also take into account if you are in the store, you have to pay for your product to be on the eye level shelf, the top shelf. Eye level is top tier, the most expensive. If you have an end cap, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for marketing. So, when we get those favorite little Target Circle emails, oh, yeah, shop the Target Circle. To be in Target Circle, you have to budget for that marketing as well. So, think about you're selling this product for $10 on your website, but you have to sell it to Target for $6. So you have to account for about 50 to 55% of that pricing for that product to go into shelf space, what you're selling it for, marketing. All of these things play a vital role in the success of your brand. So that's why I'm saying when you're pricing, make sure that you're adding in all of these um, differentiators for your pricing. Because if you're saying that you're not making a profit, then maybe you need to go back and restructure your pricing because it's very important for you to make sure that you're making a profit. Also, when you are negotiating, don't be afraid to ask for things that are not in the contract. A lot of times we see these and we're like, okay, well, they didn't add that they would share on their social media accounts. You can ask. There's no yes or no, or a definitive yes or no in these negotiations. So don't be afraid to, ask these questions. It's also going to be important for you to have a lawyer review any terms or agreements that you may have come to with retails, locations, and make sure that things are aligned with what it is you're trying to do, and make sure don't agree to anything that you are not comfortable with. A lot of times we see this and we like, but I don't want to lose this great opportunity. If it's something that you are absolutely not comfortable with, do not move forward with that opportunity. Don't move forward with it, and try to renegotiate and come to terms that you're comfortable with. So let's talk about implementing a partnership. Like I said, have to make sure that you are establishing clear communication. Make sure that you are monitoring and evaluating the partnership performance. When you get this amazing opportunity, make sure that you are have some form of to measure where you started, where you're going. Do not skip the chance to reevaluate, talk to your buyer, and ask them if there's something that you can do and modify, whether it's your items on the website. Like, there's so many things that you can do to help manage and establish clear communication. Always have a direct relationship with the buyer, even if you're working with the distributor, because there are a lot of things that you may think of and may be great that you can rely directly to your buyer. And there are usually a lot of opportunities with the retail that will give you, you know, different elements for you to continue to showcase and grow and be innovative with your marketing channels as well. So make sure that you're continually monitoring those partnerships. Have that email from that buyer. Even if your distributor tells you otherwise, always make sure that you have access to that buyer. Leveraging technology and data analytics. So this comes to usually you would receive a report from retail, how you're doing in the stores. Make sure that you are communicating, asking questions, reviewing data, looking at consumer preferences, seeing what it is that your customers are reacting to, analyzing that data. Because what you can do in these circumstances that will help you better define, your customer base and what really works. Because let's say you have three products in retail and they're not one of the products are not selling well, but the other two are. That's an opportunity for you to say, okay, well, should we just either lower the price? Let's find out what's going on and why that product is not moving like the other two. It gives you a great um, catalyst for defining what really works and what doesn't. Because a lot of times as companies, we would think that a product will be great and you put it out, you market it well, but it doesn't translate very well to your customers. So you have to always be willing to analyze data and evaluate and see where you need to improve and make changes. The best practices for sustainable growth, we talked about these before with the communication, prioritizing the flexibility and adaptability and commitment to continuous growth. One of the best things that I could share with you all is to make sure that if your goal is to be in retail, what are you doing to put yourself in front of buyers? The biggest tool that I can share with anybody is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a valuable resource for you to connect with buyers. Trust me, 90% of the buyers are on LinkedIn. It's a professional platform. I get a lot of founders asking me, like, how do you go about that? So here's my rule of thumb and what I would suggest. First of all, go through and research the retailers that you would like to have partnerships with. From there, then you can look and it'll pull up everybody that works at that company. It'll even define it, I think, by the category or the category that they manage or that they oversee. So what I suggest you do is follow them. When they post, read their posts. A lot of them share a lot of resources on their posts as well. Comment on their posts. make sure that you're interacting with them. Don't go right away and start talking about your brand. Nobody wants to feel like they are um, talking to somebody that they know nothing about. So it's important for you to continue to foster and build a relationship. Once you feel like you've fostered and they're responding to your comments, or you see that they're interacting with your page or your post, then I feel like there's a segue for you to say, hey, I know that you are a buyer in this department. I don't know when you're having a line review, but I would love to share a little bit more with you about my brand. It's very simple, straight to the point. That's it. If they respond, then you can say, okay, well, I would love to send you an email. I would even love to take it a step further and possibly try to set up a quick 10 or 15-minute chat over coffee if they're in your area. If they're not and it's just virtual, just say, yeah, and I would like to send you a virtual gift card, just coffee on me, so we can get together and talk about our brand. So I would definitely start that would be the first thing, because that's the least expensive thing to do. Second thing I would recommend is attend some expos. Buyers are at expos. Like I said, we attended Cosmoprof. That was that is more on the expensive side, but I felt like it was definitely worth it because we met with packaging uh, distributors. We met with our actual distributor that we work with now, and we also met with buyers. So they are there. They're looking for the next big thing. They're looking for the brands that are innovative and can bring something new to their customers. Because, like I said, consumers are smarter. They're trying to save. They want to make sure they're the first with everything. So always be thinking about this as you're moving forward and trying to build relationships. Now, the reason why I left the middle out, because I know we went with LinkedIn first, and then the higher level was the expos, because then you're right in front of them and you're able to demo and explain, and they're able to ask questions right away. The middle, I would say the middle would also be for you to reach out, like I said, to these the other brands that are already successful, and find out who their connections are and see if they can possibly put you in connection with a buyer or somebody just even in that space to open the door for you or give you a recommendation. Trust me, you would be surprised at how friendly some of the buyers are, at how they're looking for something new. And if you're coming recommended from a brand that is already um, successful, with Target or any other company, you have a better opportunity of fostering a great relationship and getting your foot in the door. So I would just like to share, this is the end of my presentation. And this is how you guys can contact me if you want. You can take a screenshot, or you guys can also always just reach out through DM or Facebook or anything. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn too. And you guys can connect with me that way. I want to make sure that we left enough time for questions, because I know that there are probably a lot of questions that you guys may have. So yes, yes, yes. Let me see. Is the file we can download this? Okay, wait. I'm trying to make sure that we get to all questions. So I know that you guys have any questions. Yeah. Okay, let me try to go back, guys. I see there was a lot of questions going. So let me go back and let's see.
You guys can feel free to raise your virtual hand, and I can unmute you for you to ask your question directly.
Okay, I do see a question from Justin while we're waiting for people to raise their hand. Justin, how can you observe the difference between what's trending and what's the longevity of a trend? That's a great question. And I'm going to give you an example. Everything is always changing. So you have to make sure that you put yourself in a position to evolve. And that's why I said, don't be so stuck on sticking to what you started with, sticking to what you feel like you know. With the AI, everything is changing. I tell everybody, be ready to reinvent yourself at least every 2 years. So what's trending right now may not be trending in 2 years. And it doesn't mean that it isn't great or it isn't something that's life changing, but with technology advancing, you have to make sure that you are always evolving. So be sure to make sure that you are researching. And no brands are successful right now without being able to pivot and adapt to what's trending. And a lot of people like, well, I don't want to go with what's trending. This is what's getting top tier excitement on TikTok. This is what's getting top tier excitement on Amazon. People want what's new. They want what's new. So I hope that answered your question.
Melinda, we have a
Yes.
question. Bridget, go
Okay.
ahead.
Hi, Melinda. How are you? Thank you so much for your presentation. I was wondering, does this program that's being offered from the Consumer Business Department, does it have, is it the same type of program that you would take if you're building an app? I'm building an app that's about democracy. And so and I'm at 1871, so I'm just wondering, would you know whether or not this was still the same program that you would use even if you are building an app and you don't have an actual product?
So I'm hoping that I answered this correctly.
I don't have, I mean, I do have a product. I have an app. It is a free app because it's about information to make
Mm-hmm.
decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, I don't have something to go sit on the shelves. Like it's not a tangible, um, I guess it is tangible, but you know what I mean? It's not,
Right.
it's not in Target, basically. You know, that's what I'm.
Yes. So you know what, and I wanted to touch on that too because I know that I focus a lot more on product based because that's what my brand is. But I also work with a lot of service based companies. I do consulting, so I
Okay.
work with a lot of service based. So what I would say if anybody's on that is service based, this still applies to you because you're still providing something and you're looking for negotiation terms and opportunities for you to sell your service. So I
Okay.
would say to make sure that you outline your goals as to what company would you be selling your service to? Is it something that you're trying to do where you're selling to the government, or is it to a technology company, or is it smaller businesses that you're trying to sell to? So
My
it's
business
still,
is
go
consumer.
ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was just saying my business is actually to consumers. So it's to people like you, me, you know.
Mhm.
So it's business to customer base is my business model. But I understand what you're saying. I did find quite a bit of pearls. I was just wondering, was there a different version of this that was specific for app technology? So, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, yes, you're welcome. Okay. Is there anybody else that have a question? Because I want to make sure that I don't forget to answer these questions that
Let's
are
take
in.
some questions from the chat and then we'll go back and forth. Like probably do like 5 from the chat and then go back to the people
Okay.
whose hands are raised. Because it's a lot of questions in this chat.
Okay. I think, Manuel, when negotiating with a company from out of US, how do you recommend to settle the foundations of future business relationships? Okay, Manuel, this is a good question because we have been approached several times about doing business outside of the US. And I want to make sure that people understand there are different laws that you need to be aware of. There are a lot of free resources that are offered through, oh, I can't think of the name of the company right now, forgive me, but there are a lot of free resources that are through the Small Business Administration platform. You can also go there. They have a lot of free courses that they offer in order to help you set up to do a business and negotiate business relationships outside of the US. I would definitely say to make sure that you have a lawyer present, make sure that you have a contracted agreement, and also make sure that you research what companies that you're trying to do business with outside of the US. I think that, this is a great way for you to expand your brand and put yourself in a position to continue to scale. But just make sure that you have done your research and you are connected with the right partners in order for the business relationship to be successful. If I can think of the name of the organization, I will drop it in the chat before we get off. If not, reach out to me and I will follow up with you on that because I get the emails all the time about doing business outside of the US. It prepares you for all of that. And for those that don't know, yes, there is a lot of opportunities for you outside of the US as well. So don't think that you only have to be constricted to, the US. And Bridget, you could possibly look into that too. There are a lot of opportunities outside of the US. Okay. Do we have another question with somebody with their hand raised? Because I know we're going to try to go back.
Yes,
and
we
forth.
do. Well, they put the hand down. So no,
Okay.
it was up, but they took it down.
Okay. I think it was, I'm sorry. Y'all, yes. Thank you, Maria. SBA score. Yes, thank you. I know my definitely say, make sure you subscribe to the retailers that you're looking at. Make sure you subscribe to their to their emails. They give a lot of resources too. Target has Target Takeoff for brand founders that are interested in having their products in retail. There are a lot of resources too on LinkedIn that you can sign up for newsletters. Organizations, there are tons. What I suggest you do is LinkedIn is a great resource. You can also Google organizations that are local to you, that are specific. Is some that are specific, whether you're minority owned, women owned. It's tons of organizations that give resources. And if you are not a part of any organization like this amazing organization, NAWBO, you need to be a part of whatever organization can provide you with the resources. There are tons of them. You could just Google like organizations that help small nationwide. So it's great opportunities for you. Yes. So make sure that you pursue them. They have tons of resources as well. Like don't overlook that. A lot of them are free. And a lot of them, some of them you may have to pay for, but I'm gonna tell you it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. Do we have did anybody else have their hand raised?
Yes. Yeah, I'm unmuting them now, giving them permission to talk. Yolanda?
Uh-oh. If you're talking, Yolanda, okay, I was gonna
Okay,
say unmute
I
yourself.
think I
Okay.
found it.
Yes, okay. Hi,
Good
Yolanda.
morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Very informative. I have a barbecue sauce, and I am in local stores. I thank God for the opportunity to be in a couple local stores. One of them is Fair Play. And I want to pursue maybe Target, and I'm also pursuing Jewels at the moment, and I'm in also Sunflower Foods in Indianola, Mississippi, and I wanted to ask that question: how would I pursue Target?
Okay, Yolanda, first of all, I'm excited, girl. Barbecue sauce. Okay. Listen, okay, Bridget with the app, you with the barbecue sauce. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, first of all, let me say this. When you say you're pursuing, have you already tried to connect with buyers, or like what do you mean? Or you're just saying that they're on in your strategy?
I'm trying. It's in my strategy to connect with the buyers.
Okay. So let me
Other
tell you.
stores, other grocery stores, because I'm in like 3 Fair Plays now here in Illinois. So that's a
Mhm.
great opportunity. I'm very excited for that opportunity. Someone introduced me to one of the buyers, and it just went from there, and they loved it, the sauce.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you I'm gonna put myself in your shoes if this is
Hmm.
me, because everybody loves food. You can get food, like anything that has to do with food. People are always excited about that.
Good food.
Yes, good food, good food. Okay, so I'm gonna put myself in your shoes and I'm gonna give you an example of what I would do. Because you want to spend the least amount of money in the least amount of time and let it do the work for you. So this is what I would do. Since you're already in those locations, I don't know how active you are on social media, but the buyers are on social media. They are looking, trust me, they're looking every day. They see what you're doing. I see I have 2 buyers that follow my page, and they're always in my stories. So what I would do is, because food is, people like to see your reaction after food, right? They want to
Mhm.
see you love it. Oh, it tastes great. Oh, wow. See the reaction. So if I was you, I would put together a campaign to say, we're already in these locations, Fair Play, Sunflower. Where would you like to see our brand next? Ask your
Wow.
followers to start dropping it in the chat. Tag what retailer you would love to see us in. I'm telling you, if you get some movement and some traction going, you can come up with so many marketing tips in order to get their attention. And you know what? I wanted to share this too for everybody. You want to put yourself in a position where they're coming to you, not where you're pitching to, where you're going to them. Because once they come to you, they're already interested. They're interested
Mhm.
already, because they wouldn't take time out. I mean, this is a large corporate. They wouldn't take the time out to come to you if they weren't interested. It's going to be harder for you try to go to them and, oh, I want to send this. That's why I'm saying it's about building a relationship. And Yolanda, if you're on LinkedIn, go and follow, target those food buyers and get to start building a relationship with them. But social media, everybody knows, all it takes is for one person to see it and make your post go viral. So
Mhm.
think of it in terms of, it's not costing you anything. You can just get people to taste it and just say, okay, we're in these locations. Where would you like to see us next? List what your dream retailers are and ask them to, now they have the poll voting on Instagram. So there's so many ways you can do it. But those are 2 tips that I would say, start that. And then make sure that you have a pitch deck together.
Mhm.
Pitch deck is crucial, because those buyers, it's the first thing they're going to ask you for. Do you have a pitch deck?
Mhm.
These are elements that you need to make sure that you have, and make sure that you are ready to scale, because,
Yes.
Target is probably going to be, okay, we want you to go in 90 stores. Do you have the capacity to be able to fulfill that? Because a lot of times we want these relationships, but, because we're not fully aware of what is required, you don't want to be in a position where they're like, okay, well, we want you, and then we can't fulfill it. So at the same time, while you're working to garner that, that first meeting, put yourself in a position to say, okay, what do I need to be doing to get prepared when they do give me a yes? Because you're going to get a yes.
I receive it, and because I am so on the right path. I was just trying to allow you to complete, and I'm asking God to teach me how to shut up, be patient, and listen. And I allow
Yes.
myself to do that today, and I got tears rolling down my eyes because
Wow.
I am so on the right page. I
Mm,
have a little difficulties going on, but I know I'm going to surpass it. And
mm-hmm.
all my getting, I'm going to get wisdom and understanding. And I'm so grateful to be in this meeting this morning. I'm so grateful. And the name of my food restaurant is Yo's Yummies Catering Restaurant. I've always been the person to have paperwork in order. And I've
Mm,
always had that dream in my heart. And I kept going. And I'm so grateful. I got a couple books on Amazon. So I'm going to
mm,
put my campaign together. And I've been saying that, I've been asking God, give me the next strategy. I will
mm.
not move until you give me the next strategy.
Yes.
And I am so grateful for this meeting this morning because I've been.
Oh, Yolanda, did you mute yourself again? Uh-oh, Yolanda, did we lose you?
Yeah, we need to go on to the next person.
Okay. I see. Is it
I
Joshua?
did unmute.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I did accidentally hit the mute button. Oh, Lord.
no, that's okay. You know what? Make sure you drop the name of your company or the website in the chat so we can know how to support you.
Okay, I will.
And
And thank you. I'm getting ready to put my campaign together. And thank you so much. So
Yes,
much. I'm so grateful.
make sure you follow me, Yolanda, so we can connect.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm on LinkedIn as well, and I'm on TikTok. I got
Okay.
over 12 point some I like, so I definitely will. Oh
Okay.
my
Thank you
God.
for coming up. Yes, yes.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
And thank all of you all. God bless you all.
Yes, yes. Okay. Is it Joshua?
Yes, indeed. Thanks for having me on today. I'm a youth entrepreneur. I got my start with radio broadcasting and pretty much production. And now I'm moving into the DeFi Web3 space. Currently, I just launched a token with my business partner, Walter Scales Jr. We launched it. It's called Block Cycle. It's a community accelerator. And since it's all DeFi, it's primarily education based. We've been looking for partners that can facilitate more in-person learning environments, and then also help us with some of the partners that we have internally that have cosmetic brands or clothing companies to get placement. Since we're kind of acting like the middleman here, I just wanted to ask, like, what would be some good ways to mobilize people since we have such a large online following?
So you know what tool I use, and I know this may seem very minuscule. I survey our customers and ask them. Because I'm gonna tell you something, a lot of times you'll spend money and time trying to come up with these great ideas, but your customers may have the answer already. It's so easy to just create a survey and ask your customers to then, give you feedback. Because a lot of times we'll think that this is a great, path to where, you need to go, but then you realize that it's not getting the traction that it needs. So I would suggest you start there. If you say you have, this platform already, I would survey them first and start there. And then also look at people that are in the industry that are already doing this and that are successful and find out what they have implemented and see if that works for you as well. Yeah, surveys are amazing. You'll be surprised at the information you get. And I'm going to give you an example. When we were getting ready to introduce a new product, we put a survey out before we even introduced it. And everybody was choosing the lather of what we were going to put out. And I was like, okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to work with what they want, because they are the ones that are bringing that are buying your product. They're creating the demand. So I would definitely say start there and then reach out. Like LinkedIn is amazing, I'm telling you. And if you see somebody doing something that you're already doing, reach out to them and ask them, like, hey, is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions, pick your brain a little bit, because I have an idea, but I just don't, I want to make sure that when I introduce it or when I present it, that it's going to be viable for these brands and be able to connect, but move forward in the direction that I'm trying to do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That definitely answered the question in full. And I know it's the fundamentals of things that really go ahead and make sure that we have systems and strategies that keep us going long term. So I appreciate you answering the question from your expertise.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And good luck, Joshua. Like I said, make sure we're connecting, guys. So, if there's anything else I can help with, I'm always there.
Let's take some questions from the chat.
Okay, let me go back up because I did see something. Okay. Dr. Misha Blackman, we do not want to skip your question. Great question. Does this strategy also work with small local businesses, or is it better for large retailers? I don't know if you can come up because I do want to ask you a question. If you are a small local business, you say, is it better for, are you talking about product based or service based? Misha, Dr. Misha Blackman. I just want to make sure that I'm answering the question correctly.
Like when you're sharing the screen?
Yeah, because I don't know if you're talking about a product-based business, you don't have to go to large retailers, whatever, even if it's service, you can work with smaller retailers. I think even with Bridget, she was saying that her goal is to work with, smaller businesses. Like those are, I mean, customers are, who she's trying to sell her product to. So I think that this strategy can work for both local business or large retailers. Just always think of, instead of large retailers as being your buy, because when people say B2C or B2B or it's B2B, B2C, you just have to determine what your strategy is going to be. Is it for small local businesses or is it for large retailers? It can apply to whomever. I think you just need to determine what's your goals.
So I go to share and then I go to where it says screen. Then I
Okay, let me see. I
Yeah.
want to make sure that I'm answering any questions. Okay, Manuel, consider these webinars. Okay, Manuel, like I said, guys, I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss any questions. Yes, Chicago Food and Beverage is very helpful. SCORE is great. I'm actually a member of the Chamber of Commerce, so make sure that you guys connect with the Chamber of Commerce. They have great resources as well. I'm just trying to go through and make sure on my directory. Okay, Maria, thank you for dropping that in the chat. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, sure. Is it Shatira? Okay, Chicago Chicken Shack. Come on, girl. That's right. Congratulations to everyone has experienced or entered. Yes, got to be headed in the right direction. I'm trying to make sure. Does anybody have any other questions? I want to make sure that I did not miss any questions. If you guys have any other questions, please come up.
I thought it went well.
We have a hand that's raised.
Okay.
People were using the chat more.
Okay, Barrett. Is it Barrett? I hope I'm saying it right.
Overall, it was
Yes, my name is Barrett Kiefer. How are you doing today? Thank you so
I'm
much, by the
doing
way.
great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm very grateful to be on this call. I have a question. My question is, so I'm an artist, full-time artist, and I know retail can be done in a number of different ways when we're talking about artists. I'm a visual artist, so I paint and create images through like home decor and things like that. I wanted to know if you had any personal experience, in that avenue of, getting artwork or things of that nature into retail shops and what are kind of the, I would say, challenges that may occur and what are some of the expectations that someone can see themselves having to go through when they're trying to put their artwork into retail and also being successful at it?
This is a great question because, art is a very specific piece of expression. Okay, so you're going to appeal to a certain group of people. There are certain people that, they're art connoisseurs. Like this is what they do. And then there are certain people that, they're like, oh, that's great. So I think first of all, you need to determine like what direction you're going. Are you trying to get your product sold in retail? Or is it more of where you're trying to just sell your pieces to buyers, just regular consumers? Because you said home. So I
Yeah.
think, yeah, you definitely need to determine what avenue it is you really want to focus on.
Well,
So if you're
well,
looking,
I wanna. I'm sorry, not because I was going to answer your question. I would like
Mhm.
to focus on the market itself, the industry of art itself. So I have a market where artists, where buyers buy my fine art. Um, I would, and I want to be successful in that as well as art.
So I have a couple of
Um,
questions. I'm
but
sorry, it's going in and out a little bit, so I can't really hear you. Can you hear me, Barrett? Uh-oh, did you mute
I think-
yourself?
I don't know,
I'm
maybe.
sorry. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. I
Okay,
don't really my
now, yes,
Wi-Fi.
yes.
Okay. I was saying I was saying that I have an avenue where I have buyers purchase my fine art. The avenue of going into commercial spaces is what I would consider like commercial art side. So I wanna tackle the art industry as a whole. slowly but surely, not all at once. I'm just, preparing strategies.
Yeah, so I think that because art is such a creative art form, I don't know how active you are on social. I just know that I will literally be on social and I will see an artist like painting and I will stop and watch because I am marveled by how somebody can take, color pencils or whatever it is and create these amazing masterpieces. I feel like you need to put yourself in a position to say, um, to reach out to these commercial by again, like I said, LinkedIn is a great tool. I'm just thinking about artwork that I see in like high end
Yeah.
retailers. Like maybe you want to be in Nordstrom's or, where you can go in Bloomingdale's and they have this amazing artwork for sale. I think you need to start there and then you need to find those buyers and
Okay.
connect, but also connect with your consumers because believe it or not, um, social media is free. I tell everybody that like social media is free. So again, the same tool that I kind of told that I expressed to I can't remember. I'm sorry, I forget her name already. It was I don't even want to say the wrong name. The young lady that was just on.
Yeah, the
You know,
previous lady. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I feel like, you can also use social media to leverage what it is you're trying to do. Draft a campaign where you're creating art and just say, where would you like to see these, this artwork, and
Yeah.
you can go in these particular stores and say, I could just imagine my art piece here for sale,
Hmm.
somebody taking it home. Like you have to like build the visual for it.
Yeah, I
But like,
resonated with that. When you spoke to LA, I've done a few campaigns where on my social media. I have about 14,000 followers. And it's still growing. I definitely utilize the surveys and ask questions and stuff like that.
and partner with other artists. Like that has been a game changer for us with our brand. Is partnering with other artists in the industry.
Yes, yes,
Yes, yes. I think
yeah.
that that would be a great tool too. And if you know any other artists that are already in retail, even if you don't do that as an initial pitch, start communicating with them, hosting events with them. Because trust me, like I said, those buyers, they're already watching what they're doing.
Right.
So if you start partnering and doing events and doing things with them, trust me, they're going to be interested. I'll give you an example really quick. We're doing a Mother's Day giveaway online. And instead of doing a typical giveaway where it's like tag 3 people on this post, we was like, no, we're not doing that this time. So this year we had people create videos for why mom should win. And then they submitted those videos. We have 4 people right now that are in the running. And so they then we used the voting tool on Instagram. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And then we also gave them, so they would get 1 point for voting on Instagram and then 2 votes if they submitted an email. So we're hitting so many different touch points of communication. We have
Hmm.
over 19 brands participating. So you can even do a giveaway and partner with all of these other artists and do some type of, I'm just giving you ideas that you can see. We've created so much buzz around this giveaway. We have other companies reaching out to us, like when you do another giveaway, how can I be a part of it?
Okay. Thank you
So
so much.
there's so many things that you can do. And I think this would be great. Make sure we're connected to Barrett on
I
social
definitely,
or whatever.
I
Yeah,
definitely will.
because I was,
I'm gonna screenshot your information, and my social is BKeezy, BKWEZY. Don't make it hard, make it easy. And I have a nonprofit called Paint the City where I collaborate with other artists as well. The whole purpose is to connect them to economic opportunities. So a lot of this resonated. So I appreciate your time, and I don't want to take up no more of your time.
no, this was great. Thank you. Yeah, make sure we're connected because I know it's hard for me to try to go follow people right away. So please reach out to me so we can be connected, guys. I want to hear you guys' stories and your success and see how you guys are doing. So this is great. Thank you, Barrett.
Thank you.
We still have a little time left if you want to go all the way until 11.
Keep reminding me.
Did we get any new questions?
Okay, I see. Okay, Dr. Misha, I'm glad that that answered your question. Online boutique. So partner with, yes, you gotta partner
you.
with those local businesses. I love that. Online
Again,
dog boutique. You need to have a doggy fashion show. I have a little dog, so I know. That's my little baby too. Okay, I'm a piece.
Yeah, no,
Did we have another question? Somebody raise their hand.
instead of sending emails back and forth for like.
I'm a consumer insights focus. I'm trying to make sure we're not missing anybody's
Everyone has like the 10-15 minutes, that was like the grab.
okay, an artist in retail. Okay, Dwayne, congratulations.
And I'll reply all to everyone.
Host art galleries. Okay, Letitia, see, these are great resources, you guys. So make sure you guys are connecting. This is great.
No problem. Have a good day.
Okay, info from a okay. This is great. Oh, my social media. So here is my social. Make sure you guys are following. This is, and then my name on social. Make sure you guys can connect. So all of my social platforms are either All About Melinda or my name, Melinda Chanel Herron. I think that's my LinkedIn. So you can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram. I have TikTok. Oh my goodness. I'm not really on Twitter as much. I have not been on there in a while, so I'm more active on, it's just too many platforms, guys. It's a lot. So I am on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So that is where you can find me. Make sure we're connected. Yeah. So if there, I hope I didn't miss any other questions, guys. I'm trying to make sure that yeah, and if anybody has a product or service-based business and you're thinking about creating a pitch deck, I will tell you guys that you could reach out to me. I've created so many pitch decks, guys. It's crazy. But yeah, I can review whatever you have and you guys can let me know. Okay, yeah, Jennifer, definitely reach out. Yeah, we can try to schedule some time. And yeah, I'm hoping that this really helped answer a lot of your questions. I know we can go on and on and on about um, retail partnerships. Some of the key takeaways I will say is just to go back, make sure that you are communicating well, make sure that you have the right strategy in order to be successful. Make sure that you're creating lifelong partnerships because your goal should be to create these lifelong opportunities. Make sure that you are interacting with the buyers so they'll know who you are. You don't want to blind send them a pitch and they have no clue who you are. Aren't you more interested in things that you already know and you're excited to receive and excited to learn more about? So definitely take those tips and implement into your strategy. And also pricing. Make sure that your pricing is right, because always keep in mind that they're going to take about 40% of your price, 40% off of your pricing. So make sure that you have it built in, because if you have to pay for marketing and all of these other things, influencing, marketing, placement, all of that you should have built into whatever price you're charging for that product. So instead of your product being $10, you may have to raise it to 15. And I'm going to say this for anybody that's on, do not be afraid of setting your price at a certain level. There are consumers for everything. I'm getting this a lot when I do consultations. People are like, well, I thought that price may be too expensive. It's all about the way you market your brand. If you're marketing it like this is a $15 bottle of water, people will pay for it. So do not feel like you have to change your pricing to fit what you think consumers may like. You have to make sure that your marketing is aligning with your pricing. Once you do that, people will pay. We were concerned at first about charging $21 for our facial serum. And I'm going to tell you right now, people buy it and it's 1 ounce. So don't feel like you have to change your pricing. Just always think about this. And I use this example all the time. When you go in a grocery store and you go in the bread, they have a bread aisle. bread aisle. Just think about that. Conceptualize how many different brands of bread there is. There are some loaves of bread that I've seen that are $8. There are some loaves of bread that are like $1.99, $2.99. It's a consumer for every single price point. So just think about that. So if you're charging high level compared to what's in the industry, if a high level facial serum is $40 and a low level facial serum is $8, if you're in the middle and you have pricing, make sure that your brand messaging and marketing conveys that. You don't want to be market, we're the low price leader. Get this for only this price. That marketing doesn't correlate to what you're trying to sell. Instead of you selling on it's only or it's the lowest price, you should market it more on the benefits of the brand and tell the story of how successful this facial serum is for people that may have had problem skin. So, I mean, that's the best example that I can give for that. And, like I said, I think that a lot of times you have to really think about your messaging. And so my barbecue sauce sister, listen, make sure that you are sharing videos and everything about how delicious it is, the ingredients and how great people use it at, summertime is really good for barbecue sauce. So hopefully you are really honing in on pushing all of that information out there. Okay. I see Martez. Okay. Congratulations on that, DJ for the Green Bay Packers. Love it, NCA. Thank you guys. Keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing. I want to make sure, like I said, guys, it's a lot for me to try to respond and follow back. So if you haven't connected, make sure we connected because I want to hear about all of these great things that you guys are doing. And if there's anything that I can help with, you guys are more than welcome. I also have a website. You guys can go to my website. It's all about Melinda, same thing. So you guys can we can make sure that we stay in touch. I hope that this has been very informative to anybody. If there's any other questions or anything else that we could discuss after, like I said, feel free to reach out, DM, email, whatever. I want to make sure that you guys are moving in the right direction and that you have success. And I pray that everyone continues on, no matter how hard it may be, because a lot of times things get hard and we get discouraged. Listen, I'm a faithful person. I'm a believer. I pray, and I pray for everybody that's on this meeting that they continue to stay motivated and focused, and that they are moving in the direction of their goals and continue to be successful. So I hope that this was informative, and I want to thank everybody for joining. And yes, it is recorded. So I'm not sure how they will receive this. Can you let them know how they will receive the recording?
It looks like that might be it. Thank you, Melinda, for today's presentation. For those of you who are a part of our certificate program, you will automatically receive credit for your attendance today. To learn more about our upcoming webinars, please visit chicago.gov/BACP webinars. This webinar was recorded today and will be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Chicago BACP. Thank you again, Melinda, and everyone enjoy your weekend.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.